Get ready to rock, America. It's the Smith and Milano Podcast, brought to you by Treehouse Comedy Production. Here's R.C. Smith and Lou Milano.
Hey, buddy, we're on.
And now, on a very special Smith and Milano podcast.
Yes, it's the Thanksgiving special.
Happy Thanksgiving to all. God bless us all, everyone.
Yeah, this is like the different strokes where, remember the specials from the sitcoms in the 80s?
Oh, they always would do special ones.
It was always funny.
Right.
And then like different strokes. And then Arnold went to that guy's store and then he got molested.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Really?
And you're like,
holy
wow,
crap.
that was special.
Because all the Thanksgiving ones always involved taking in like a stranger. There'd be like some homeless guy who was outside on the porch and they would take him in, or there'd be like, you know, these little kids that didn't have a family, and then it would all end with them all sitting around or you know what always happened? The Thanksgiving dinner would be burned and they would have to end up like in a restaurant somewhere, but it didn't matter what they were eating. The fact that they were all together is what made it a great Thanksgiving.
You watch a lot of Gilmore Girls.
I love the Gilmore Girls.
No, but it's like on a very special different strokes. And you're like, oh, cool.
Oh, this will be great.
Something different.
Yeah.
And you were surprised to learn that very different thing was Arnold almost got molested.
Almost.
But yeah, but his buddy, what was his name? I forget his name. He did get molested.
I never watched the show, so I don't know.
And I was a kid, and I'm like, wow, this is weird, man. This requires a lot of explanation. Different strokes took a real dirt road this week.
And you just didn't want to have Thanksgiving dinner.
No. Anyway, no one on this show will be molested today.
Not today.
If all goes well.
If all goes well, you and I will leave with our virginity intact.
There you go. Let's do this.
Here's one more from the road.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Lou Milano.
Oh, yes. I teach swimming pool management at Westchester Community College.
Very nice. And I'm R.C. Smith. I'm an ordained minister.
You are also a stand-up comedian.
Stand-up comedian.
And I am a Connecticut radio personality. Today, in one more from the road, I did this thing. I was driving around, and I've been trying to listen to podcasts, although it's been a struggle for me. I don't know why. I don't think I like them in general.
See, I'm a bad professional because when I was a theater major in college, I never read plays. Mm-hmm. When I moved to New York as an actor, I didn't go see a lot of plays, even though I could have.
Yeah.
Now that I've become a comic, I went to a lot of comedy shows when I started out, but now that I'm a professional comic, I don't go to comedy clubs.
Yeah, I could see how that would really mess with you.
And I'm not a big fan of going to see TV shows that are taped because I work in TV.
Yeah.
So I really kind of loathe my own kind.
Yes, me too. And I'm gonna circle back to that a little bit. But anyway, I was listening to Mark Maron's podcast because he has, I think it's been the number one podcast for years now. And
he's huge. Big podcast guy.
And why not listen to the best if, you're trying to get some pointers? I'm a student into the game. I want to learn.
He accused me once of stealing one of his bits.
Really?
Many years ago when I was a new comic. I'd only been in the game for a couple of weeks. Some girl comic who was trying to bang him pointed out that him and I did a similar bit. So one night after a show, he came up to me and he said, "Hey, you doing one of my bits?" And I said, "I don't know."
Am I?
You tell me.
Yeah.
So he got up, and I remember this. He got up did his next set, and he said, "Well, I'm going to do it this joke." And he did a joke which sort of sounded like, and I remember that girl turning to me and going, "It's the same bit."
Right.
She like spit it out at me.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh, well, what do you know?" And so he came up afterwards. He goes, "Is it the same?" I'm like, "Yeah, it sounds like it." He goes, "What are we going to do about it?" I said, "Well, I guess if we're in the same room, we won't do the same fucking bit, will we?" Problem solved.
There we go. End of that one.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to it, and I'm a few weeks behind. I'm like a month behind. But I also I'm not going to follow every week. So I listened to this interview. Mark Maron was interviewing Jenna Fisher from The Office, played Pam.
Yeah.
Beautiful lady, very talented. And I thought it was interesting, but it's also messing with my head. I'm like, is this what we should be? And I'm like, no, you be you.
Right.
Just enjoy the show, which I have a hard time making the distinction.
And that's pretty good that he can get names on his show.
Oh, he's huge. He's the biggest podcast in the country. But anyway, I'm listening, and they start talking about acting stuff, right? Okay. And I'm talking about like real minutia, like how she prepares for a character things they learned in theater classes over the years. Then they're talking about sets they've been on. And I'm just sitting there so jealous. And I'm thinking, I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. And by the end of the episode, I realized I do not want to be an actor.
No.
I just want to know all this stuff so I could talk about that stuff they were talking about. Sort of the secondary...
What do you need to know? I was a theater major.
I know. I just want to...
What do you want to know?
I don't want to know anything. I just want to do stuff. Basically, here's what it is. I'm a fraud.
Okay.
When it comes to some of these things that I've been able to do on the side because I'm good at the thing that I love, which is radio.
Right.
I've been invited to do a lot of things that I've never done before. And I've done them, and I've enjoyed some, and I didn't like others. I've done some acting.
Right.
Like I'm in a corporate... I was cast in a corporate medical video that I've never seen. And I don't even remember what it was. And I was also in a reality show, which was not based in any reality whatsoever. And I was very, very good in it because it was all improvising. It was acting, and I got to make up the lines. Here's where you start. Here's where you finish. The middle is yours. I love that whole concept, So I thought, like, I'm going to be an actor. And then this lady got me an appointment with another lady who apparently is like, it's a huge deal to go see this lady. So I had to prepare a monologue, and I'm like doing it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I'm talking about it like you read about on my radio show.
Right.
Because it's so cool. I have a monologue, and I'm going to see this super agent in New York City. And I never went.
Wow. You just never showed up.
I didn't want to be an actor.
No.
I wanted to talk about having a monologue, going to the city. I'm a fucking fraud.
You are a fraud. Holy shit. It's stolen valor.
That's what it is. It's stolen Hollywood valor.
Yeah. Wow. Because funny you should say, because I was a theater major and I was an actor, but I haven't done any theater in 20 years because I've been doing stand-up. I'm getting really antsy now. I'm kind of looking... I want to do a play. I really want to get back into theater.
What play might you like to do?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. Probably a comedy, but although I was a pretty good serious actor as well.
Yes.
And so but I like the process of the stuff that you're talking about. I love going to rehearsal. I love learning lines. I love developing characters. I love having my inner monologue. I love all that stuff.
I hate all that.
Yeah. See, I love that stuff. I just
like talking about it.
I love that stuff.
Which we're doing right now, and it costs me no hours of preparation.
To me, there is nothing more exciting. And I remember to this day the very first time I was in a play when I was in high school. And it was the thing that developed me and made me say, holy shit, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I want to be an actor. I want to be on stage. I remember that. And I remember the first time I did stand-up when I went, holy crap, this is the second light bulb moment in my life.
Yeah.
I want to be a stand-up comic.
Well, I had my own light bulb moment this morning.
Right.
And that is, I'm full of shit. I just like knowing enough about something to talk about it. Which means I'm in the right profession.
You are in the right profession because you have to kill a lot of time day after day being on the air.
Yeah.
And you might as well be able to bullshit your way through it.
You know what sucks, though? Actually, it doesn't suck for me. I don't care.
Right.
It must suck for the listener because certain people, they get so involved in one facet of their life. That's not how my life works.
No.
I have my fingers shallowly dipped in the water of every tray.
So if anything that comes up,
I can talk about it.
To a point.
Right, to a point. And sometimes I will stretch past the point where I should be talking about it.
Right.
And the person who is fucking knee deep in that water, and that's all they care about, catches me saying the wrong thing, and they lose their mind.
Do you even know what an inner monologue is? I just mentioned it as an actor. Do you even know what an inner monologue is? That's a good term to know if you're going to bullshit about acting.
Okay.
The inner monologue is what you're saying as your character inside your head the whole time. So if we're having
you don't have a speaking line.
So no, even if we have, have a speaking line.
Oh, okay. I got you.
If we're talking about driving a car, I got in this brand new car. I drove it up to Connecticut. I was
what do you
doing this
really
show.
think?
Your inner monologue should be like, wow, this is probably the nicest 1978 Corvette I've ever bought. And I can't believe it's red and the seats are beautiful. So you have a character. You're thinking in character the entire time.
That's too
That's
much
your
work.
inner monologue. It is.
That's you're hearing two things at the same time.
It's a lot of work.
She was talking, which I thought was cool about this thing that people do apparently, who are actors,
right?
Where they get like a script and they do all this, reading the lines and trying to figure out your motivation for each moment and blah 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 blah. She said the moment before. So the moment before, even if someone doesn't direct you as to what that moment is,
right? And
they're about to call action or whatever your moment is, you have to come up with a moment before. What were you doing before?
Exactly.
Even if somebody hasn't provided it to you.
Right.
So
what brought you to the point that you're about to speak?
Yeah, Mark said, so you were in the bathroom. And she said, well, I'd walk in the room and wipe my hands on my pants.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And then she said it distracts you from the anxiety and the vulnerability of actually doing the thing.
And it's also part of the backstory.
And here we are. Here I am, bullshitting.
Talking about the one time you had to memorize a monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I was in dozens and dozens of shows and spent countless hours in rehearsal, and now we're on the same playing field because you can bullshit very well.
Yeah. I think I can outact you. I've convinced myself of it. It just happened just
Really?
now.
You think so?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Let's audition for the same role.
All right. So now we're up. So now we have two things because we've been talking about doing Jeopardy.
Yeah.
To see who's smarter. And now you think you can outact me.
Oh, all day.
Really?
I will Denzel you into the ground.
Really?
Yes.
Really? You're going to do Denzel Washington?
Yeah, I'm going to slow motion walk away from an exploding car.
Well, if you Denzel me, I'm going to Kevin Spacey you.
Please don't! No! That was fun. So it's we should thank our sponsors here.
Absolutely.
On Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving Smith and Milano Thanksgiving special. It's the Thanksgiving special.
Because can we be any more thankful than for Brad Axelrod at Treehouse Comedy Productions?
No, I cannot.
Without Brad Axelrod, we would not have all this.
I must say, I am most thankful about Brad that he plays racquetball like it's 1981 at a country club, and his name is Brad.
Is there anything better than when you call him and you're like, I've been trying to get a hold of you. Where were you? I'm sorry, I had racquetball. And I'm like, whoa, what year is this?
It's the funniest. Like,
I'll bet he's got little shorts. I'll bet they're not baggy shorts like NBA players wear or any athlete of great talent. I bet he's got the little, Magic Johnson shorts.
John Stockton.
Yeah, John Stockton shorts.
Yeah, cranking out assists and hanging balls.
And he's got the big goggles that look like sunglasses that you put on.
Dude, but the best thing is no one plays racquetball anymore.
No, he's there by himself.
So
you can't find anybody to play racquetball.
No, because it's not the 80s, and the only places it's available now are at those country clubs that are still hanging in there with that older crowd.
Right.
So he goes to country clubs, plays racquetball. His name is Brad. He's like a villain from an 80s movie. He's like...
Right. The guy that causes all the problems.
He's the Cobra Kai guy in Karate Kid.
Yeah.
He is, what's his face in Goonies?
Right. He's the Delta House. Not the Delta House, but the other guy's in Animal House.
Yeah.
That caused the problems.
Exactly.
Right.
But we digress.
Right.
TreehouseComedy.com.
Because when he's not doing racquetball, he's out doing lawn darts. Anyway, Brad Axelrod and Treehouse Comedy, our title sponsor. They've been in Connecticut for 35 years. Oddly enough, it was when he began playing racquetball.
Yeah.
35 years ago.
That was also when the last game was scheduled.
By the way, he's in great shape. He could kick both our asses.
He is in great shape.
He's a wiry little guy, and I'll bet he could kick both our asses.
He's in great shape.
He's in great shape.
It's all due to the racquetball.
If we were little rubber balls, he could smash us against the wall with great force. Anyway, 35 years they've been doing comedy in Connecticut. They have clubs in Westport, Windsor Locks, Brantford, and at the Fairfield Theater Company. They have a lot of great shows coming up. Saturday, December 2nd, one of the great legends of comedy, Bob Nelson, is going to be at Bobby V's in Windsor Lock.
The football guy.
Characters.
Yeah.
Just amazing stuff. Really, really funny, really brilliant. One of the guys that was probably one of the first big rock star comics back in the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
Anyway, he's going to be at Bobby V's. You can get tickets at treehousecomedy.com, or you can call the box office at 203-268-5857. And if you want